I go by M, just the letter M, it's my nickname. I'm from Canada and I teach English and I'm a riding coach. If you come to Taiwan and you want to ride a motorcycle around Taiwan, you can hire me to not only teach you how to ride, but to keep you safe while you ride. You can't really travel Taiwan anymore by yourself because there are speed cameras everywhere. If you try to just come here and go riding around the country, by the end of the ride, you'd probably have $3,000 US in speeding tickets.
Yeah, you can ask me. So how long have you been in Taiwan?
27 years, from young to old.
What's the main reason why you decided to stay in Taiwan this long?
I'm the opposite of most people. A lot of foreigners come out here because they like Asian things or they have yellow fever, they're attracted to Asian women. I was the exact opposite. When I first got out here, I thought I'd be spending my free time at hotels trying to pick up white girls because I was not attracted to Asian women. But over the years, I've slowly and healthily gained like a healthy appreciation for all things Asian, and now I'm the opposite way.
During your stay here, what part of Taiwanese culture do you find mostly fascinating?
There's a lot of things that I don't notice anymore because I've been here almost 30 years. So what's culture for them has probably become culture for me also, so I don't notice the differences as much anymore. Okay. Like, for one example would be showering at night. I guess that's a local culture and I do it now too. And now I think Westerners who shower in the morning are gross. Because they build up sweat and filth for an entire day and then they lie in it all night and then they wash it off. And then they build up sweat and filth for another day and then they lie in it all night and then they wash it off. It doesn't make sense. Yes, Asians are correct. I suppose just the friendliness of the people. Like everywhere you go, you get treated, if not equal, better than. So that's nice. You kind of, you're automatically special just by being a foreigner, and that specialness is nice. Just health-wise, Asians, like the average Asian, you could walk up to just a random person in this park and they would know things that Western doctors don't and that Western doctors should. And that's just like any average person here has not more knowledge, but a lot of knowledge that a Western doctor wouldn't even be aware of.
What do you find mostly challenging?
The biggest challenge would be loneliness, because even though I've been here almost 30 years and I have lots of local friends, it's easy to make local friends, but it's very difficult to make local good friends or best friends. It's rare to the point where it's almost unheard of. My best local friends, I visit them at their homes, we hang out for an hour, they give me tea, and then I leave, and then I see them 2 months later, and I go to their homes. And if I invite them to my home, or I invite them to a movie, or just to hang out in general, they're always too busy with this or that. In the 30 years I've been here, I've had probably every foreigner I've invited will come to my home and hang out. Locals, I think that's in 30 years that's happened maybe once or twice.
Do you have any idea what's the reason behind this?
Yeah, it goes both ways too. It's just cultural differences. When I do hang around with locals as a group, I do group rides. I'll hear about like a group of 20 guys that are going to ride someplace, and I'll join in. So I'm hanging around with them for the entire day. And their jokes I might not find funny, my jokes they don't find funny. And then when they go to eat, they always do seafood, and I don't like seafood. So very often when we go to eat, I'll leave the group and go somewhere else, and they'll joke about how I'm going to McDonald's or something, which I don't do, but I just don't want to eat what they're eating. When I go back to Canada, it's always nice just to be at a house party or someone has a barbecue and they invite you, and everyone there you can just speak freely with and relate to more so than the people in my own country. And when I say my own country, I mean Taiwan.
People talked about how safe Taiwan is compared to many other countries. What's your take on that? Have you come across anything that you could tell us why it's safe or why is it not safe?
Yeah, it's gotten better. When I first moved here, I saw violence. When I first moved here, it was like near the end of the cab war years. And it was like they had two different main cab companies, and they were warring with each other for control of areas. And it was very common for there to be like bloodshed and crowbars and baseball bats between taxi cab drivers. When I first moved here, just on this street over here, there was a guy riding a scooter, and he hit somebody opened up their car door, and the scooter hit the car door, and it was a family in the car, husband, wife, daughter. And the father opened up his door, a scooter hit it. I guess the father didn't apologize well enough, so the guy in the scooter got on his phone. Within minutes, there was like 15 guys there. They beat the crap out of the father, the mother, and the daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, and just left them on the street bloody, like just on the main road here. That's 27 years ago. And since then, every single year it's improved, and now Taiwan is in the top 3 safest countries in the world. One of the reasons for that, in many countries, the police and the criminals are connected, but then the needle leans more towards the criminal side, in the sense that you can get mugged on the streets and the police show up and they don't do anything because they're friends with the criminals. In Taiwan, the police and the criminals are connected, but the needle swims in the opposite direction, so that there just is no crime.
What advice would you give to the first-time visitor in Taiwan?
Oh, if you're thinking of moving here, stay the hell away from Taipei City. I think you're an idiot if you live in Taipei City. And that includes all the people that already live there. If you're moving to any country, stay away from the capital city. The capital city, you're going to have lower pay, higher rent, and more competition, because every idiot foreigner when they move to Japan goes to Tokyo, and every idiot foreigner when they move to Taiwan goes to Taipei. And what you have is an oversaturation in the market, so they can actually pay you less even though the area is more expensive. And you have more competition because that's where everyone goes. I was lucky. I moved here with a friend, and he said that. And he said, we just need to get away from the capital. We need to find some small city or small town where there are fewer or no foreigners, and we'll get paid. Cost of living will be less, the pay will be higher, and we'll be treated better because there's no competition for the jobs.
That's right.
I would say do a Google for M13 tours because it took me, I started to give tours, or I started to be a riding coach 12 years ago. And my first few tours around the island were just horrific because I didn't understand the streets. I didn't know, if you just type something into Google Maps, it's going to take you on lines that go straight through cities where it's bumper to bumper traffic, and it's congestion, and it's horrible. So having a GPS or having a smartphone isn't enough to tour Taiwan. It helps if you have someone who's done it and they can give you a lot of advice.
What's special or unique in Canada that you would like to share with Taiwanese?
Not much. Canada, I visit Canada about once every 5 years, and every year I've gone back, it's just worse and worse and worse. When I left Canada, it was a pristine country that was famous for being clean. And now when I go back, I see people throwing large bags of garbage just out the car window on people's lawns, and it's just horrible. Crime is skyrocketed. Much like America, every year becomes a worse and worse and worse country. Rent is skyrocketing. Rent here hasn't changed much in 30 years. I'm paying the lowest rent now that I've ever paid, and in 30 years.
Wow.
And it's never varied much. I've always paid between $200 US and $400 US. It's always been in that area, and 400 is like a large house with a garage, and 200 is a large clean apartment. So it's always been in that range, and from 30 years ago to now. What's special about Canada? The clean air is always special. In Taiwan, the further away something is, the more gray it becomes. But when you're in Canada, it doesn't matter how far away something is, it's still bright and the colors are vibrant. So it's every time I go back to Canada, I just love looking at things far away and seeing how vibrant the colors are.